Hello and welcome to the Sias du Plessis Show, proudly brought to you by Betway, the title sponsor of the Betway Premiership, the Betway SA20, and partners with the Springboks, the four-time world champions. Check out betway.co.za for more information. It is an absolute pleasure and honor to welcome my next guest. What are we, episode 64, Ray? I think we're getting there, hey? Closing in on that century. Benson Mhlongo, thank you so much for making time, for coming onto the show, and for being such an inspirational human being. I've got to know you now with the Betway 12th man, and I just think you bring sometimes something out of left field, but I love your honesty and humanity, man. Thanks for making time.
Thanks, Mr. Sias, to invite me. It's a pleasure.
Tell me, how are things at the moment? How is life treating you? How is things going? How's the body feeling? I mean, it's been a while since you stopped playing football, but how are you feeling in general?
In general, now it's thanks to Betway. You know, last year I lost my wife.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Life's just stopped. From playing upside down with coaching. So I was like, what do I do now with the kids? But Betway gave me a life to say, look, you can use your strength, your perseverance to pursue in business or pursue with your passion, which is helping people and revive again yourself emotionally.
And how are you feeling emotionally at the moment, Benson? Because cannot be easy.
I've wake up.
Okay.
My brain is back. Now
okay.
Things are coming back. I'm pursuing on achieving what I always wanted to achieve for all my life, which is find a place where I can help people. That's all I need.
So that's your driving force at the moment? Is that what gets you out of bed in the morning? I mean, obviously your family, your kids, but also to help people, because you've played for arguably the biggest club in South Africa. You've represented Bafana Bafana. You've played against the likes of Kaka. I mean, you know, international superstars. Do you feel like it's your responsibility to give back? Yes.
Because if I didn't have people that helped me, you know, we from an era where there was color issue, racism issue. But I grew under John Clancy, Mango Grove leaders. I grew under Jose here in Rosebank. He had a fruit and veg shop. There's an Italian. An Indian guy, Kore Ibrahim, mentored me. So I don't know what is race, you know. So they made my life much easier to understand what's going on for me to pursue my career. So helping is part of being someone's life. It's fulfilling, honestly, when someone achieves with a little help that you can give. So I just want to be happy.
Take me back. Tell me a bit more about the shop and learning from these guys and your mentors, because I think this is a side that people don't know about you. And I would love to know how those people shaped you and the lessons you've learned.
Okay. First is my late father, George Lewis, a guitar man. That's why I'm Benson, George Benson. So we are like a famous family, but living in a 2-room with 8 family members. Outside, we are famous. Back at home, the life is real. The place is too small, crampy, but you must not show that in the house is not the way they pursue us because of my father's achievement. Traveled the world and told me I will never travel the world. I said, I'll get you a seashell one day. Because he used to come back with seashells. Okay. This is from Italy, this one. I didn't understand because I never went out of Joburg. And then life changed when they separated with my wife. So I had to choose. It's me, my 2 sisters, mother, going, or I stay behind with my father. So I chose to go with my mother so that I can help the little ones because I'm the firstborn. So now we have to look for food and everything. And my mother got a job in Rosebank. They call it a canteen, you know, a small restaurant for business. Mm-hmm. So that's where I used to get sandwiches.
Okay.
You know, so I'll walk from LX through Rosebank to Empire Road, get those sandwiches, take them back. Because she used to come twice a week back at home. So those guys loved us. It's like we are working with our mother, we are family. So we never felt that my mother, she was working that much. You know, that's where I learned how to speak English, because at our school, we didn't have I can't say good English teacher, but we were not focusing on English. It was more of Venek, more of our language, speaking in every subject. Then I met Gora Ibrahim while playing football at the age of 10, 11. He used to annoy me, that Indian guy. 3 o'clock, he wanted me by the park at Malboro and said I must pursue football. He wants me to replace him at Pirates. He was banned for kicking a coach against Leopards.
Okay.
Centre back of Gora Ibrahim, centre back. So they banned him for life. So he wanted me to replace him, to play centre back, and I was a right back. So he used to teach me about movements, you know, how strikers move, positional play, and I was getting bored because I didn't hear what he's saying. At 5 o'clock, there was a channel called Mnet channel, between 5 and 7.
That's right.
So Italian soccer was on. That's when I saw Revenal and Fiali tormenting oppositions. So I focused on these two. Said, what if one day I come against these two guys? Will I be able to defend, you know, to overpower them? So that's when I started having interest on how to overcome strikers that are in pairs. So I started following and analyzing football. So
from that young age?
Yes.
Okay.
From the age of, because I was a mathematician.
I see.
So I liked numbers.
Okay.
You know, when we solve a problem, they'll say 15 marks. So to write the whole page one by one, they say 1 mark. I said, no. Let me find an easy way to get to an answer. Then I get an answer, they say 8 marks. I said, but it's a correct answer. How can you say 8? Because I can explain the steps. Then I played in the township for Alex Palmer. Now Sunday, it's the day that I play for Megawatt Park. Now when we win, they drive us to Rosebank, to the fruit and veg, to get vegetables and fruit. So that was motivation.
Only if you win.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I could score. That's why I always score. Winning was embedded by that. So I know when we win, there's food. So now I used to come with those vegetables. My mother used to hit me. Where did you steal them? And then now, Gora is afraid to enter Alex. Joe is afraid to enter Alex. I say, you have to come and explain to my mother, please. She thinks I'm stealing this stuff. Then they wrote a note. No, he's our best player. And then I kept that note. So things were okay. So they took me off the streets, you know. So mine is you achieve when you do great. So that's when I started focusing on doing great. So whatever they asked from me, I would do it. So what they said to me, they said, I'm good in the air. They've never seen a black guy that is good in the air. So I must focus on that and pursue that. It will take me far.
Sure.
And I listened. And it did, because I was not good on my feet, but in the air I will destroy you.
I think you're okay on your feet, Benson. You're okay on your feet.
As you learn, you just do the basics. You just do the basics. But there are better players like me. So just focusing on my strength made me who I am. And that's why I say sometimes a small message to a person can change his life.
Yeah.
So I understand it very well.
Tell me, when you eventually donned the famous black and white Orlando Pirates, was that a dream come true for you? Do you remember, you know what I mean? Because in South Africa, let's be honest, it's Chiefs or Pirates, right? All due respect to Sundowns.
Wow. Father celebrity, 2001, first season at Vets. He passed away. Bank account, 0 cent. Must bury that man. Went to Tembisa with my ID to a loan shark, got 7,000 to bury him. So fame just died from there. So football was not about fame.
Okay.
It was about winning. I got into trouble for that when my first year I went to Paris 2008 and I said, how do you feel? You are a player at Derby. I said, nothing. How can you ask me that? I'm from Sundowns. I've been winning league cups. I'm here to help this team to win. So just say Paris is lucky to acquire me. I feel nothing. I'm here to win. I'd rather lose at Derby and win the league. Hey, the papers hammered me.
I was about to say.
For a month.
Did you pay attention to that noise? Or was it hard to not, take stock of what's been going on? Because it's such a high-profile club.
I was glad that I'm becoming unfamous.
Okay.
Remember, fame, it hurts me because of my father had nothing to show for it.
Sure.
So for me to be unpopular, I enjoyed it.
If you look back at your football career, where were you most happy playing? Because, I mean, obviously you've played for the national team, and that's something in itself. An injury, unfortunately, prevented you from adding to that. But where were you most happy? Because it's got to be about joy at the same time. Yes, winning is part of the mission, but there's also joy, right? Pride. There's a sense of fulfillment when you run onto the park, head the ball away, deny a scoring opportunity.
All the teams were different. They taught me a lesson. Adverts, joined them 2000, stayed for the whole season without kicking a ball, but on the 18. But when it's my turn to come in, they'll take Gareth Divine from up front to play centre back. So it taught me to persevere and be strong. So my mother said to me, don't worry, the coach didn't see you yet. So you can't blame a blind person. So I took it like that. Then Tony Coyle and the twin, Ivan, they said they were sick because they were losing. And then they said I must go and defend Daniel Matsau, playing for Hellenic. He was scoring that guy. Very short, quick. Said, okay, this is my chance now. Let me bottle this man up, put him inside a container, and then forget about him. I did that. Since from that day, I never sat on the bench. And I became the captain of the club. Then I got injured 2004 from AFCON, January. I was supposed to go for an op. It was ACL and PCL. Said I'd be out for a season. Said to Roger, no, let me go and do my African things. Drinks, our mooties, razor, all that, believing that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, absolutely.
Yeah. So I said to Roger, our first game, it was, I think, not MTN8. It was, I don't know, there was a top 8 in 2004. So our first game was Pirates. It was pursuing me to join Pirates. I said to Roger, let me strap my knee and just play this one game, then I'll go for an op. I promise you. He says, okay, it's fine. Went to Ogni. Then I said, no, I can't strap this knee. They will see. The small boys will see because they were quick. They had Gifley Remy, very skillful players.
Yeah.
I said, I can't wrap this knee. They will see me and they will attack me.
Yeah.
I'm going to run with it.
Were you in pain?
I was.
That's brave, man.
It's once you achieve. I like to do something and get an answer and done with.
Sure.
So I went, played. Second half, can you continue? I said, yeah, I can. It's starting to swell up. We got a free kick. I put it in. Immediately I landed. I said, take me off. So that story is the one that made me to join or Pirates to pursue me until.
Okay.
Because I said, if this man, because Krima was the manager, he knew that I was out.
Yeah.
He knew the scan. So no one believed that I am playing. Even I didn't believe because
you had no right to be playing.
Yeah, I didn't trust ligaments. They say you can't see that muscle. I said, nah, that doesn't exist. So sometimes God works in a mysterious way. I think that moment is the moment that made all the club owners to know how strong I am.
Yeah, a lion of a man. Roger de Sá obviously played a big part in your career, a wonderful human
Very
being.
big.
Are you still in contact with him?
In touch.
Okay.
I wanted to join him in Qatar.
Okay.
It says, but your qualification, but coach, don't forget me. We're still in touch.
Okay. And those qualifications, is that something you're actively pursuing at the moment in terms of coaching? Because I know you have a passion for coaching.
Yes, I am pursuing.
So how far are you and what do you still need to achieve?
I have a C and a D from 2017. So I'm disappointed because they delayed the courses. As they've done it this year, 2024, they said, I'm not coaching, so I can't go for a course.
Oh, I see.
That was a reply, but I said, it's fine, I'll pursue until I get them.
And you're the man who does pursue and gets the end goal.
Yeah, no one must distract you, or nothing must stop you from what you want to achieve.
I would ask you, that Confederations Cup, to the smile. I mean, that was special. I mean, that time, I was working as a journalist at the time. I remember when watching the Confederations Cup, you guys playing against Brazil. I was like, it was a pinch me moment because we never thought that we'd have the World Cup here. It was, and I'd say to this day that if you could bottle the air that we were breathing in South Africa at the time, South Africa would be a world-class place because it was special. There was something, there was an energy, there was a unity, there was a pride. And when Bafana ran out in that Confederations Cup, I was like, man, I cannot believe my eyes. It must have been incredibly special as a player.
Very, very special. Special and tough at the same time.
Yeah.
You know? I was not regular because Pereira, before he left, he said to me, I must just hang in there. I will play the World Cup. But for now, qualifications, I will come in those few minutes. Comfort, it doesn't promise me, but the World Cup, definitely I'll play. I said, why? He said, remember, you're competing with Metibut, Aaron Mokoena, and they're playing overseas. So I don't want the media to kill you.
Yeah.
You know, if you make a mistake, they'll crush you. So I'm waiting to give you a big chance with this World Cup. Just ignore everyone and persevere. And he kept his promise. Because when we went to AFCON, Confederation Cup, he was not the coach. Santana was the coach.
That's right.
So we played against Spain in Bloemfontein. Then we came at Ellis Park to play against Brazil. He phoned Santana and Pizzo and told them the only person that can defend Kaka is Benson, not those two. That's when we played with 3 center backs. It was me, Aaron, and Metubut. My work was, I must make sure that Kaka doesn't create.
I mean, one of, if not the best player in the world at the time.
He was. I was following him. He was to people in Italy. But because at a young age, I could analyze his strength, where he plays on the left, cuts to the right, and hit the top corner. So I knew how to maneuver. Yeah. But what happened the day before in camp, before the pre-match meeting, Santana told everyone that tomorrow I've got a special assignment against Kaka. My own teammates laughed at me and said, with 2 crooked legs, so slow, we're going to get 5 here. Then I told them that if we get 5, we all lose. Then I left the room. I didn't eat. And I went to my room. I slept. I didn't go for a team meeting. I said, I don't want. I just said, let me focus on Kaka and let them talk after the game. And no one talked after the game.
No one talked after the game. The smile on your face says it all, my man. Obviously, injury has been a challenge, a blight, a curse. Maybe that's the wrong use of word, but for a lot of people, they see it as almost personal when it's not personal. But for you, you've had 2 major injuries that have put a dent in your career. How difficult was it, firstly, accepting that you were out of football again, the second knee, and how much did that motivate you to get back? Because when a specialist or 2 doctors, 2 surgeons tell you you will never play football again, you probably have a limp, you won't be able to run. Did that motivate you even more to show them, listen, I'm Benson Mhlongo, you don't just write me off?
It's not about motivation. It's about listening to the world and listening to divine spirit. When I was growing up, I used to read the Bible like a book from page 1. So along the pages, chapters, it talks about what you have done yesterday, what you're going to do going forward. So it's like a human being manual. So I was clued up on what God has put. If you do this, this was going to happen. If you do this, this is the way you're going to go. So I listened to spirits, to the world, to say, at school, I was the best goalkeeper. It was Brian Baloyi. There's a guy, late John. He was number 1, not Brian Baloyi. So I was the third youngest goalkeeper, assigned to be the best. We went and played in Krugerstop, Champions Little League.
Okay.
Yes. I was about 11, 12 there. So I was a goalkeeper playing right back at the township, but at school I was a goalkeeper. So I became a player of the tournament. Then when we had to go and represent Southern Transvaal nationally, in Alex, they chose other good players from other school. And I fought. I said, no, we can't. Our school achieved. We're taking the same team. What are we going to do with those ones I left out? So we went to King Williamstown. I went to the pitch. I just felt. And then I broke my arm. I didn't play. Fine. Then I grew up. And then I went to City Sharks, MTN. We were number 2. Number 1 was Leopards. Number 3 was Red Stars. So we were left 2 games. We play against Red Stars. Very important game to be promoted to go to the NSL. I got sick day of the game. So I didn't play. The team the next season got relegated. 2004, I got injured. I don't know why, against Okocha. I made that stunt where I didn't know why. I went in with an injured knee and I scored a goal. Now, the common denominator in all those things, when I'm not okay spiritually, when I don't help my teammate, that's when I get an injury.
Okay.
So I understood an injury is a way of God talking to me. This is what I said you must do for me in this world. And if you're not going to do it, I'm not going to bless you. I take it from Moses to say, take my children out of Egypt to Israel, write the 10 Commandments. He broke them and he was left there by the mountain. So that's how I take it.
Okay.
If I don't do good, things don't go right. I'm aware of it. That's why I'm comfortable to do that.
Yet it must be frustrating when you can't play, though. I know you've accepted that the injuries happened, but sitting on the sidelines watching your team, that must have been very frustrating for you.
That's when my motivation started.
Okay.
At Wits, I was mentoring Skalvik and Rigel Noble.
Okay.
And they went and played for the national team. Sundowns, Johan Johannes, Oscar, Ramili. So that's when, if I don't play, I mentor.
Okay.
I analyze the games, we sit down, we talk. This thing of analyzing just came now in the 2000s. So back in those days, coaches didn't analyze it, but they'll tell you that's it. So that's when I think my mentor started, because I played through them.
Yeah.
Yes, so on and off the pitch, I was playing, because when something happens, I know we discuss it. So I can't say it was sad. It gave me another way of playing the game, which is through other players, through my teammates.
Benson, what is the highlights of your career? And I'm putting you on the spot here. Maybe there's several highlights, but when you close your eyes for the final time and leave this earth, will you have a football memory that sort of you remember as your proudest moment?
Going to platinum and winning those trophies after 2 doctors wrote me off, the club wrote me off, friends wrote me off. That is my highlight of my life, because actually I did, and I knew I shouldn't have come back, because it took me 2 years. It's 12 months without working at all, and another 12 months of slowly trying to come back and win trophies. Unfortunately, it was against my former team, Orlando Pirates. So maybe there's unfinished business.
But that feeling of winning trophies, being back on the park, playing football, that must be difficult to explain to people if they haven't been there, right? Yeah. It's like the pride alone, the sort of sense of accomplishment, right? It's something unreal. Can you try and describe that to me, who will never lift a football trophy unless it's a five-a-side with Betway, maybe?
The odds are against you. 2 years without playing. The CBDs, very quick, skillful, like, I'm going to make it. Join a team, we are about in our 30s, but I respected the likes of Fuyo, Malukas, Enrico Portas.
There's a lot of experience there.
Yes. So to get them together and see one purpose, and to travel every day from Gauteng to Northwest and say, I don't care if my salary end up in transport, money, petrol, but I am going to make a mark with this team. And to allow people to help you and to see opposition supporters salute you, to see the respect that people give you, like they know they've seen through a microscope what you were doing to achieve where you are, and to be loved by human beings. I think we fight for that. And for that to happen to you, where you are loved by human beings, genuinely being loved by strangers, I don't know how to describe that feeling.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to describe that. But I get a sense of where you're coming from with that, because in South Africa, we love putting our sports stars on pedestals, and as soon as they do something wrong, we knock them off very quickly and forget about them. And I think the fact that you've been able to go to this low point of being told you'll never play football again to being back on the pedestal, hats off to you, sir. That's absolutely well done. And congrats on a fantastic career. You can be very proud.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, in terms of watching Bafana these days, is it, as a former Bafana Bafana player, as a former captain of a team, a leader, is it difficult or different to watch the national team, you know, from the sidelines, knowing that you were there once? Is it a difficult thing, or is it something you get used to over the years?
It's difficult for me seeing young boys being left alone. You know, used to have experience around us. For me, when they're not doing well and we crucify them, it's sad for me because they don't have anyone that's older that can guide them. You know, that's what's difficult for me. But enjoying what I'm seeing, you know, boys winning against all odds, the country not behind them, and they're doing well.
Yeah.
That for me makes me want to watch more, to say, from these youngsters, who's going to give us joy?
There seems to be a disconnect between Bafana Bafana and the South African football public. How do we change that, Benson? I mean, is it a case of being successful? I mean, AFCON, winning in AFCON, is that what it's going to take? Is it going to take qualifying for another World Cup? Because you could see Hugo Bruce has brought in younger guys to try and sort of build the experience from the bottom up. Whereas in the past, Bafana coaches would say, here's your experienced guys, and then we introduce youngsters bit by bit. He seems to have flipped that script. But the question I'm trying to ask is, what do you think it's going to take for South Africa to get behind Bafana? We've seen them get behind the Springboks. They won World Cups. The Proteas, the cricket, well, we're still undecided there. But for Bafana Bafana, how do we change that narrative?
I think we find an answer. Let them stay and play in Bloemfontein. We'll follow. There are people that love the country.
Okay.
Let them play all their games in Bloemfontein.
Okay.
We'll follow.
Sure.
I think that's the realm you have. Because there is a place.
There is a place.
There is a place. You know, you used to play in Joburg only, so why not? Because they show that they are behind the country.
Yeah.
Let them play in Bloemfontein.
And it'll be sold out in Bloem.
Thank you. If we still boycotting in Joburg, let it be. Let them play in Bloemfontein and enjoy football and get the support they deserve.
There was it Kaiser Chiefs against Bloem Celtic Legends?
Yes.
And that was pumping.
Yeah. Those guys, they
love their football
they
in
love
the
their
Free
football.
State. Eh?
So we have a home.
So we just make Bloemfontein Bafana's home.
Thank you.
I will see what we can do. I can't promise.
We have to do it.
But we have to win games. We have to win in AFCON. Surely we have to win in AFCON.
They win there, so let them stay there and get used to winning.
Okay.
We can't argue that. They've won. Come back, Joburg, they threw, and then what?
FNB.
Yeah, I think maybe the temperature or atmosphere here, or I don't know, the courts don't want us here anymore.
I think it's maybe pressure playing at the big stadium as opposed to a smaller stadium.
But it's big enough, like...
No, I mean, FNB is history, tradition, you know, the FIFA World Cup. When you go to Bloem, yes, we played Confed Cup. Bloem also hosted World Cup games, but there's almost an expectation when Bafana run out at FNB, right? And maybe that's a pressure thing, whereas at Bloem, it's more about the crowd, feeling the crowd on top of them. I don't know.
We spiritual people, you know. In Joburg, you can feel that you're not wanted, and you can't motivate a person that feels is not wanted.
Sure.
So in Bloemfontein, they can feel they're wanted. They are shown they're wanted. Let them stay there. You know, you go to rehab to recover. You don't go to the same place where you're an alcoholic, you go to a tavern to recover. So Bloemfontein is our rehab. Let us go and get our rehab and be healed.
Well, we maybe need to send an email or phone call to Danny.
Must make hashtag Bloemfontein our home, Bafana Bafana.
Benson, do you watch a lot of football these days? I mean, the Premier League, you mentioned of Serie A when you were in your formative football journey. Do you watch a lot of football these days?
Since I started this game, I do watch to see the trends, to see how players are improved. You know, I always say we're lacking to improve players now. We believe they must be born. And Pep is showing us, Klopp is showing us, there's no one that knows the game completely. Even if a Krista can be improved, Haaland is still being improved as much as he's like a goat now, but he gets improved. You know, Mbappe struggled because there was a time where he thought I'm okay. You know, it's to look at how can I improve any athlete that I come across, what to tell them, because we believe in seeing. You know, with social media, we want to see things. So if I don't know the improvement of other players in the world, how would I relate to this youngster that doesn't see his part? So I watch it to learn.
Do you have a favorite team you enjoy watching? I mean, everyone enjoys watching City at the moment, Man City. But do you have other teams that you enjoy watching?
Unfortunately, I never followed a team ever in my life.
Okay.
I can't follow a team. I don't know why. I just love the art of the game. I just follow and love when I see teams doing something incredible. For example, I enjoy seeing Wolves against Man City because that's the only team that can dismantle Man City.
That's true.
So I just like the art of creativity, how to win.
Okay.
That's what I follow.
And are you stealing little ideas each time you do this analysis, watching the game for your own coaching career? Like potentially how I can plug that into teaching younger players. Maybe it's a defensive pattern, or if it's a way to handle a central defender or strikers. Are those things you're picking up all the time as someone who's played the game?
Yes, and honestly, a player must be complete. A player must know every aspect of the game. He must understand the aerial dynamics of the game. He must understand the importance of controlling, the importance of a pass, that you don't just pass, it must have a message.
Yeah.
You know, he must be complete, because when he joins a team, there's a certain system they're playing, certain style. They must just adapt. You must be able to implement what is needed where you are playing. So that's why I'm watching each and every team, so that if I get a player, I could see that, okay, this one might not fit on the ground like Sundowns. This one can at least play for maybe Cape Town City. So how do I use him? Because that's his strength, not to change him.
Yeah.
You know, where to put him.
To nurture.
Sometimes you change them position because of the strength that he's got.
Yeah.
So I'm watching that, different types of playing and players. So if I get a player, I know how to use him because I've seen maybe Wolves. This is how they use this player. You know, this position works for him when you attack this way or defend that way. So I'm looking at the game holistically.
So you're a secret Wolves fan. I'm joking. I'm teasing. I can see how impressed you are with watching Wolves. I'm just teasing at the moment.
Because they run 90 minutes, same tempo.
Absolutely.
That's what's amazing me. 90 minutes, same tempo.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. You're talking about players that must be complete when they get to a certain level.
Yes.
You've played with some phenomenal people over the years. Who are some of those people that you played with that you looked at and went, wow, I'm in the presence of a quality player? Because there's levels. I mean, with all due respect to everyone who's worn the famous Bafana jersey,
Yes.
there are levels. There are some guys in that jersey at that time are untouchable.
Yeah.
Who are those names that come to mind that you've come across in your playing days?
Okay. Club level, vets, Gareth Divine. When they say goal scorer, that guy used to score from anywhere. Just put it in the box, he'll find it.
A fox in the box.
Yeah, so he was a goal scorer.
Yeah.
Forget about skill. And then inside the pitch, late Mishak Totets, he carried the team. You know, he didn't lose the possession. You know, I've learned a lot from the guy and I admire him. Sundowns there, that's another team. I think that's a whole team. They were different. Mendu, what a good pass. Nyandoro, 60-meter pass. But the one that made football look easy, Surprise Morera.
Absolutely.
Football was that guy.
Had so much time.
Yes. You made the game look very easy. So, Surprise, definitely.
Okay.
Pirates. Before Pirates, there was Gifley Rem. I think the country never saw. I call him Recalme, late Gifley Rem. He played like Recalme, you know. That guy, if he says I'm gonna score, he does score.
Just gifted.
Yes, he was.
Absolutely.
That's why it was Gifley Rem.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then Tsovilagas. And Kremene can design and create a goal. With his height, the things that he used to do, and playing with him at the national team and see him at training doing them. So I admire him. The General Tiko Modise. Katlego Mashego. He can score that one.
Yeah.
That one can score. And Senzo Moyo. From saying, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to surpass Gune. The amount of work he did to get there, I really salute him.
Yeah.
May his soul rest in peace. Platinum Stars, Tsotsongele, from Botswana. I think he's one of the best, that boy. One of the best, that boy.
That's high praise coming from you, my man.
Tsotsongele, I don't know, that boy used to score from any angle, any meter. He was just gifted. National team, all John Mabisela. For me, yes, we have Lucas, but all John was something else.
These days, who excites you? I mean, Sundowns, there's I mean, a ridiculous squad, Super Sport, Pirates, you name it. There are some talented youngsters, but who excites you at the moment that's coming through that we can see in the Betway Premiership or potentially playing overseas?
Rowan, Sundowns goalkeeper. He's the playmaker. He's the number 10 of the country and also Sundowns. He excites me. The way he has changed the narrative of a goalkeeper and showing us that what they are doing, Europe can be done against Europeans. He did it, so he excites me.
Do you expect Ronwin to still be in the country much longer? Do you think somewhere someone's going to pick him up, or do you think he's...
I wish they must let him go.
Is that something you want to see more of, our players overseas? Because you look at guys used to playing overseas. I mean, you used to have Sean, Benny, all these players, that's just to name a few, playing overseas. And now, it seems to be less and less that our guys are leaving to play overseas.
Because teams and agents don't want them to leave. Honest.
Like, happy here.
No, they don't want them to leave. They want to make money around here. I think maybe they're afraid of losing them when they go overseas. Maybe other managers will get them. But it's selfish of us because the more players go, it opens us for these youngsters to play professionally.
Yeah.
We are a bigger country and we only have 32 teams professionally. So I think players should leave so that we can get more into the system.
Benson, looking at the season ahead now, and you're going to be asked this the whole season, just purely because of your credentials, my man. Can anyone stop Sundowns this season in the Betway Premiership?
Pirates will do, Stellenbosch will do.
Those are the two threats. Do you see Sundowns slipping off now with Rulani going? Or what do you anticipate? Maybe if you could look into your crystal ball, what are you anticipating?
Yeah, I don't see Sundowns this season doing that well. Not disrespecting the leadership, but from my experience, Coach Mangoba and Coach Steve, they've tried through the years to bring new talent. They couldn't.
Yeah.
I think their intelligence needs experienced players to handle. I think the intelligence for youngsters might become too much or misunderstood by these young boys. If they can get experience, they'll do well. But with youngsters over the years, they couldn't do it. And now the technical director wants youngsters. So I think the youngsters will be overwhelmed because sometimes when you too much respect a person, you fear to play football the way you want because of the respect they have. Sometimes you need a friend for you to perform.
To give you that freedom.
Yes.
Pirates, you confident about their challenge? They seem to be growing from strength to strength.
They must just leave the coach alone, leave the team alone, don't change it too much, give other players a space to grow, but they are in the right path. If they've grown the past 2 years, I see them taking on Sundowns. Actually, I see them winning the league. Not as my former team, but the way they came back this season, the way they started it, the confidence that they have. They must just take care of these boys. That's one thing I've said. Sundowns, yes, it's a big team, but it's different atmosphere. When you're a Pirates player, the country is yours. If they can get people to just guide these boys, put them in the vacuum for a season, then they'll do well. But if you can let loose of these young boys, we're going to lose them along the way. That's my concern about them.
Stellenbosch punching above their weight, playing some good football, although losing some big players. That might affect them as the season rolls on.
With Stellenbosch, heads up to the coach.
Yeah, and he's been phenomenal.
That's solid.
Yeah.
Just quiet and solid.
Yeah.
It's one of... amazing things that I've seen. I used to sit with the late Clive Barker, Yeah, it's a solid one. I think Stellenbosch is teaching us what is professionalism, honestly.
Yeah. And then that team in yellow and black, Amakosi. Oh, they say gold. Sorry, gold and black.
They need to employ people, man.
What, staff,
players? Yeah, you can't take family issues into the pitch. It affects the players. Who to go with, who to talk to. I think they are too much on it. They must just hire players
because they seem to be struggling, like almost a lack of identity on the pitch.
You don't get a freedom when you see your boss every day. During games, your boss is around. Training, your boss is around. Look, Mr. Kaiser, you didn't see Mr. Kaiser amongst players during the games. Dr. Ivan, you don't see them. So there's freedom. So when your boss is around, you get scared.
Yeah.
They must just give these boys a breather. Get a staff to handle football matters.
Can Chiefs
NBA boss?
Can they bounce back though?
As long as the bosses are there, Junior and Boba are on the pitch, they won't get it right.
Last one from me. Future Bafana Bafana coach sound good to you? Would that something you would pursue if you got the opportunity to be a coach of the national team?
I can. But a lot has to change.
Okay.
A lot has to change. We have to have our own village. There must be competition from under 12 until the senior team. There must be in every province. Then I can be a coach. Because where do you get players? Where are the under 15s? Where are they playing? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
To go for a bigger picture, want to play under 17 World Cup. Where are the under 17 playing? Which tournament are they playing? There's no league, nothing for them. So for me to be a head of a national team coach is for me. But what's happening? The talent is destroyed. So I cannot be there if things are not done the right way. I'd rather sacrifice myself and be down there and try to help these boys.
Benson, is it a case of former players like you, former leaders, rolling up your sleeves and getting together with SAFA going, how can we fix this? How can we bring the under-12s through? You know, we've seen Spain. Those teams have been together. Those players have been together since under 15 or under 12, and they've gone on to win European Championships, World Cup. Is that what we need? Is your IP and SAFA to get together and find a way?
Yes, we need to have a provincial league. You know, we need to have province having their own teams for pride, where they can play week in, week out for them to grow. That's the only way. We need that back. It must come back. And SAFA has power to do that. If they can focus on that, each and every province have their own team and then play against each other, then we'll be in the right path. Beside that, we just taking shortcuts, and it's going to bite us big time when you go to competitions.
Benson Mhlongo, it's been an honor and a privilege. Thank you for making time. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being such an inspiration to me. I often say when I talk to people here, it's about people who inspire me and who inspire other people. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate what you're doing and what you stand for. Keep up the good work. I'm sure there's success on the horizon for you.
Thank you, Mr. Sias.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching the Sias du Plessis Show. For everyone who's liked and subscribed, we appreciate it. Thank you to Betway for supporting us on this journey, to Monster Energy and New Era Caps. We'll catch you again next time on the Sias du Plessis Show.